In this and the next lesson, you'll learn how to determine physical address locations based on geocode latitude and longitude information. This page on the developer's website provides a lot of good information and references for determining and using geographic locations. In this and the next lesson, we'll use a sample app to examine the code needed to retrieve location information. We'll use the Location Activity sample app included in the Working Files Samples workspace. You can use it from the working files or download it yourself. To download it, in the training group on the developer's website, go to the Making Your App Location Aware section. Off to the right, you'll find a button to download the sample app. And watch for these demos on the developer's website. Sometimes they're apps you won't find using the wizard capability we studied in our lesson on using wizards and templates. So click the download button, and you should see the app download onto your computer. And then you save the file to a folder on your computer. I put mine here in this location-aware example folder. There's the zip file. And then you'd unzip the file. I put it here in this same folder. You see it there. Then go to Eclipse and use the File, New, Other, Android Sample Project from existing code. Click Next. And then you'd find the file on your computer wherever you've put it. And you see here, I've pulled it up on my computer. You'd click OK. Select the project, you'd click copy it into Workspace, and I already have it on my computer, so it's not letting me take the next step, but you'd then click Finish, and it will load it into your Workspace as I have it here. So now from the app source folder, let's open the main activity, Location Activity. And because the app requires network services not available on the emulator, I'm going to show you a screenshot of the app from my phone. So in DDMS, select my phone, click the screenshot button, and there we have it. So the app has two buttons, one to select using the fine-grained provider only, and the other to use both providers, fine-grained network provider and GPS. So that it pulls up the latitude and longitude coordinates, and then we look up the street address and put both on the display. So back to the Java code. Now, this demo includes a lot of useful details on how to use Android location capabilities. Consequently, there's quite a bit of code, and this is one reason we have two lessons to cover this topic. So let's get started. Line 47 declares our location activity as an extension of the fragment activity class. And you can learn more about fragments in that lesson of the course. Lines 48 through 67 define variables we'll be using below. 75 through 115 define the onCreate method. Line 78 uses the setContentView method to initialize the display using the main layout. So let's take a look at that quickly. So in the Layout folder, click the main XML file. And lines 17 through 20 define a linear layout. 21 through 23 define another linear layout within the first. 24 through 38 define the provider buttons. Line 30 sets the onClick method for the find provider as use find provider in our Java file. Line 38 sets the onClick method for using both course and find providers as use course find providers in our Java file. And lines 40 through 48 define fields for the latitude and longitude information, and 49 through 57 define fields for the physical address information. Now back in our Java source code, lines 81 through 87 restore the app state after the user has rotated their device. 88 defines a text view variable for the latitude and longitude layout field, and 89 defines a text view variable for the physical address layout field. 91 and 94 define button variables for our two buttons. 97 sets the geocoder availability to true. Lines 101 through 112 define a handler for updating text fields in the user interface. and a handler allows you to send and process message and runnable objects associated with a thread's message queue. Line 114 sets up a location manager object that provides access to the system location services. And these services allow applications to obtain periodic updates of the device's geographical location. Lines 118 through 123 define the onSave instant state method to restore the user interface states after device rotation. 125 through 129 define the onResume method, which executes the setup method, which is defined below and we'll examine later. Lines 131 through 141 define the onStart method, and here we check if the GPS setting is currently enabled on the device. Lines 153 through 155 define a method to launch the settings display, and it doesn't look like this is being used in the app. And lines 159 through 163 define the onStop method that removes the listener from the location manager. And that's the end of the Part 1 lesson on determining locations. Well, let's move on to Part 2 in the next lesson.